I want to thank all of the workers at this plant, all of the Carrier workers, most importantly.
Donald Trump talked to the employees at the Carrier plant in Indianapolis, talking about what it took to save more than 1,100 jobs.
You know, we thought we lost our jobs. We thought they were gone for good. We had no hope, but he gave us hope.
The president-elect announced he was working on a plan, and today he came to Indianapolis to celebrate that deal with Carrier.
Yeah, tonight we now know about 1,100 jobs will be saved in this deal. The company will invest millions of dollars back in the plant, and it took a promise of eliminating or even easing federal regulations and some big tax breaks to make it all happen.
That all brought the president-elect and his vice president-elect, Mike Pence, to Indianapolis today to celebrate. 13 Investigates' Bob Siegel is looking into that deal. But first, Scott Swan joins us now from outside the plant with what Trump said and the reaction from workers. Scott?
It was a small but packed room inside that Carrier plant today. A lot of workers eager to hear from President-elect Donald Trump, Vice President-elect Mike Pence, and the CEO of Carrier today. The man who broke this story is our political reporter, Kevin Rader. He broke the news of this deal on Tuesday, and today we got confirmation not only from the company, but also from the president-elect himself, Kevin.
Yeah, this is interesting, Scott, because I think they've really thrown down the gauntlet here. It may start with Carrier, but what Donald Trump is hoping to do could mean more jobs for other companies in this state and the nation.
One of the things we're doing to keep them is we're going to be lowering our business tax from 35%, hopefully down to 15%, which would take us from the highest tax nation virtually in the world. This is terrible for business, to one of the lower tax, not the lowest yet, but one of the lower tax. The other thing we're doing is regulations. The regulations are, in fact, if I asked Greg and your folks, you would probably say regulations might be worse for you than even the high taxes, which is the biggest surprise of the whole political experience. I thought taxes would be number one, regulations would be up there someplace. Believe me, these great leaders of industry and even the small business people who are just being crushed, if they had their choice between lower taxes and a major, massive cutting of regulations, they would take the regulation.
The simple truth was that policies coming out of our nation's capital were literally driving jobs out of this country. What was missing was clear to me as your governor. What was missing was leadership and change. Well, the American people voted for change last month, and even before taking office, our president-elect provided real leadership that made the difference.
You know, it was interesting, Scott, President-elect Donald Trump expressed many times, and you heard it, you were in there, a real affinity for Indiana. He said that Indiana came through for him twice. He felt like this was his opportunity to come through for Indiana.
All right, Kevin Rader, thanks so much. Carrier workers said this was a great day. In fact, one guy I talked to who's been here at Carrier a long time said it felt like a Christmas miracle today. They're excited that Carrier is going to invest millions of dollars in this plant, and they are thrilled to have their job saved. The president-elect gave the good news at the Carrier plant after touring the facility that makes furnaces. Remember, these are the same workers that were told back in February their jobs were out of here. They were going to Mexico. But Trump picked up the phone and convinced the CEO of Carrier's parent company to change his mind, and employees were thrilled to hear it in person.
He helped put my life back together again. Because, I mean, before all this, it was going downhill. I felt like I had no hope. Just took one day to the next.
So how do you feel right now?
I feel great. I feel blessed. Been praying a lot. God answered my prayers.
I mean, it's good news because we kept our jobs here, and to hear that he's going to tax some of these other businesses that try to leave, I think that's good for us and everybody else in the future, for other companies that think about leaving.
He's given me a sigh of relief. I mean, he's lifted a burden off of my shoulder. I mean, I can actually breathe again. If there's ever a Christmas miracle, I think we just got it today.
Well, not everybody is happy about this Carrier deal. In fact, there were several dozen people that were demonstrating outside this plant on the west side of Indianapolis. They're concerned about some of the other Indiana plants where workers will lose their jobs. 300 jobs at the Rexnord plant here in Indianapolis are expected to be lost in the coming year.
The reality is, as of today, my job's moving to Mexico, and I don't want the next job that I go get to be the next job that my family loses.
And also being cut, 700 jobs at the UTEC plant in Huntington, Indiana, which is near Fort Wayne. That factory is owned by Carrier's parent company. Layoffs there are expected in the spring. And tonight